Okay, welcome to the World Retail Congress. Today I'm joined by Robin Lewis, who is CEO and founder of the Robin Report and co-author of the book, The New Rules of Retail. Thank you for joining us. I'm also joined by Hany, who is President of Strategic Alliances with MasterCard, and also by Andy Mantis, who is Senior Vice President of Merchant Information Services, also at MasterCard. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just a few questions for all of you. Starting with you, Robin, what have you learned from your time at the World Retail Congress?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very refreshingly surprised that globally, these great leaders from around the globe are so into an understanding of the importance, excuse me, of what we're calling omni-channel retailing. And they seem to begin to understand where they've got to move in integrating all of this. And I say refreshingly surprised because I think just a few years ago they really didn't understand it. The other thing that goes along with that, which we've talked about in our book, is that they also are understanding it used to be the internet versus brick and mortar stores. What we're seeing now is they are understanding that actually the brick and mortar guys have an advantage over the pure e-commerce players because they're playing on both fields. They're playing on the internet and also in the store. And having that physical store also gives them the competitive advantage of being able to develop experiences for the consumer, which we believe is an absolute essential going forward. You can't just compete on price. The internet alone is not three-dimensional. Having that store and the internet is a great synergy. So I think those are the two things that I've learned and that I'm very high on going forward and optimistic about.
Great, thanks very much. So moving over to Hany, technology is driving a lot of the change in retail at the moment. What are the growth opportunities, do you think, and how is technology driving the change that we're seeing at the moment and moving forward?
Well, I really want to build on Robin's answer a little bit. We now have a consumer who is engaging with retailers in a multi-channel way. They're equipped with digital technology such as phones and tablets and computers. They're also really enabled to make payments in a very simple way. They're able to access goods and services. So the consumer is really curating their own shopping experience, frankly, across multiple channels and across multiple form factors. Very practically, for the retail sector, what that really means is an opportunity to hook into that same technology in a very cost-effective way, and through partnerships, through collaboration and partnership. We heard yesterday in the main sessions about those who are investing heavily, and the Economist report that we commissioned really suggested that the majority of retailers felt that they were behind, but that there were really two groups. The big retailers who are investing heavily in innovation, and the smaller retailers who are nimble, who are moving quite quickly. And I think we're really seeing that coming to the fore, very much so. We at MasterCard are very proud to be pioneering much of that technology and are very proud of the depth of engagement we have with retailers in that space.
Okay, thank you. So that comes on to my next question, this one for Andy. How is retail evolving in terms of customer engagement, multi-channel, and what does the future hold for bricks and mortar retailers, in your opinion?
Well, customer behavior, as we've been talking about here, is obviously changing, right, with the devices, the technology, the channels. So it's incumbent on the retail community to actually keep up with the customers and then move to surprise and delight them. So it's really going from a legacy point of view into creating experiences across channels that engage customers and delight them. And what we see is, at MasterCard, obviously we see a huge amount of transaction data, and we see that consumer trends changing very, very rapidly across channels, across borders and preferences. And we're working with many retailers to help them understand the opportunity, the behaviors, and how you take advantage of that. So, taking that back to the high street, as Robin said, there really are opportunities that we see to create an experience online, offline, and really engage customers in a more meaningful way going forward. But execution is key, right? It's been a lot of talk at the conference, but now we have to move toward executing with the right expertise and advice. Absolutely possible, but it's critical for retailers.
Yeah, and to emphasize Andy's point, excuse me, I have congestion here, but Marion King of MasterCard also said on my panel yesterday that the consumer is way ahead of the retail in terms of their use of the internet and mobile devices and so forth. And as you say, the retailers have got to get caught up to that, and I think they are beginning to realize that. I used the point that it used to be the store in the center and the consumer had to go to the store. It's been flipped on its head. The consumer is now in the center and the store has to go to the consumer. And also what surprises me about MasterCard, just saying to Hany, is that you guys have gone from selling credit cards to actually becoming a center of connectivity between commerce and the consumer in all ways, which is very interesting. So, the internet and technology is changing the world in a lot of different ways.
Right. Yeah, and we are playing in more and more fronts. And if you think about it, right, to get ahead of the consumer, you can't do it in just one leap necessarily. And we're in a terrific position to help retailers take the right steps based on uncovering with information and technology the right priorities, what will resonate most, and help move them along the path to get ahead of the consumer.
And I think just to build on that, if you look at some very practical applications of that, and we saw this from retailers with nearly half of the retailers that were surveyed in the Economic Intelligence Unit report saying that within the next year they will be deploying NFC technology within their stores. The MasterCard PayPass wallet, the online wallet, is going to enable consumers to load up credentials, payment credentials, and be able to shop seamlessly online and in the physical world. Information and data analytics is something that the majority of retailers said that was going to feature very heavily for them going forward as they seek to understand the consumer better, the individual consumer, to build on Robin's point, and then loyalty and the changing face of loyalty.
A lot of conversation at the conference on the value of the consumer shopping across channels, and we heard that from Saks, we heard that from Google, and in fact, in working with many retailers, we are seeing very consistently, if you can get the consumer to shop across multiple channels, they are worth often 300 to 400% more than someone who's just shopping on one channel.
And to that point, guess why the pure e-commerce players are going to be opening up brick and mortar stores?
Yeah.
Because they are beginning to understand that the synergy between the two, it's a synergy between the two, and they're going to end up with a greater revenue base than just selling online.
You're right.
Amazon is opening up their first store in Seattle.
Yeah, it's not cannibalizing, it's growing and engenders loyalty.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.